Hello, and welcome in. Today we are going to be unboxing my daughter's Lovevery Playkit. So the Lovevery Playkits are something that we have gotten since she was a newborn. We signed up, I think, even before she was born. And what they are is a subscription box where they send you developmentally appropriate toys that help grow their brains every couple of months, since babies' brains are growing and developing so quickly. In the first year of life, you get them every 2 months. After they turn 1, you start to get them every 3 months as the rapid development of the brain slows down. So this Playkit that we have here is for months 11 to 12, and it is called the Thinker Playkit. They all have fun names based on where your baby's brain development is kind of having the most growth at any given time. So when you open the Playkits, looks like this. There's always a nice title card. This one, again, says The Thinker and the months that the Playkit is for. Sorry, a little bit of a glare there. It's shiny. And on the back, it shows you a suggested map for introducing the toys to your baby. Now, you don't have to go in this order, but these Playkits, one of the things I love about them is that they are so thought through by child development experts that there is usually a reason for why they want you to introduce them in this way. That being said, a toy's a toy. It's great for your baby either way. If they love it, go for it. We have had some toys that she has immediately jumped into playing with, and others that it's taken her a little bit later in this month span to kind of get into. Along the top, you can see some of the previous Playkits for 0 to 2 months, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8. Again, we've been getting these since the very beginning. And then at the bottom, it has where we are and where we're going. So this is something that we really look forward to every month. So taking the card out, we're left with this. In every single one of these boxes, there is always, let me find it. Oh, nice, that's neat. There's always a guide that comes with it, and this explains each one of the toys, how they are meant to be used. They also usually have some expansion activities, so if your baby has mastered the toy, some ways to make it more difficult. And they also include ways to play with your baby that don't involve toys. So starting here, this is the guide that comes with the Playkit. On the first page, there is a note from the company talking about where your baby is at developmentally and why they chose the name that they did for the Playkit. So this particular 2 months, 11 and 12 months, says that they chose the Thinker because this is the stage where you can start seeing your baby's brain light up as they figure out how the world works around them. So it comes with a couple different tabs: what and when, baby and you, the playthings, and more activities. Baby and you, it gives you some milestones that they may be hitting, and every baby's different, so this is not like a tried and true, every baby's going to do this, but a lot of them will be getting there. I know looking through, my baby moves from sitting to crawling at this point. She's 11 months old. She is fascinated with holes and openings. We have a toy from a previous kit that's dropping a ball into a hole. She loves that toy. It's her favorite right now. She recognizes in response to her name. She babbles in a way that resembles speech. She's very close to her first word. My baby's been a talker from day one. She definitely resists lying down for diaper time. And then along the bottom, it states some other things of what they might like to do: play with their children, sit up in the bath, all of those things. They then do the same thing for 12 months. So these are things that my baby's not quite at yet, but this way I can kind of see what's coming and know what to expect. I also like these little books include things for parents. So for this, as we're approaching our baby's first year, it gives us some reflection things. So reflecting on all of the reasons why we're a great parent. Then we get into probably the most exciting part, the playthings themselves. It gives you a why, it gives you a description of what the item is, and then it gives you the instructions on how to use it. Now, a lot of these toys are really simple, like a little board book. You're gonna read the book to them, you're gonna give it to them so they can flip through it. You're gonna encourage the baby to hold it with both hands. Some of the more complicated ones do have a way, quote unquote, of playing with them that they describe. But they include things even for the simple ones as well. The book then continues through all of the toys until we get to the next section, which is more activities. That includes things that you can do that aren't necessarily toys, some are small and unstructured activities, some are a little bit more structured. Like for example, this one suggests putting Post-it notes over your cabinets so they can reach for them, pouring water between different containers, letting them play with food and bowls. And then it gives you some other parenting suggestions at the end, like keeping old playthings, and like everything in this day and age, invites you to download their app. I do have the app on my phone. I use it occasionally. It's a nice app. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't feel the need to use it all the time because while there's a little bit of extra content there, it's not like groundbreaking on top of the Playkit. If you have the Playkits, you typically have all of that information already. Getting into the items themselves, I'm gonna go in the order that they recommend sharing these items with your baby because that makes it easy for my brain. Works for me too. So we start with this little board book. Let me move it closer. We start with this little board book called Animals I See. They first and foremost recommend this to give to your baby for diaper changes. I know my baby, starting in the last couple weeks, has started to really not want to lie down for diaper changes. We actually have another one of their mini board books from an earlier kit that we had already given her just out of, oh, I wonder if this will work. And it works wonders to keep her in one place. She is happy to lie down. She will flip through it. She likes holding it in her hands. So this is another one of these, and it just goes through, and there's a lot of everyday animals: ants, cat, fish, bird, duck, ladybug, frog, bunny, cow, squirrel. So they are, again, animals that they're probably seeing in their everyday life. The pages have a nice bright color on the background. They've chosen animals that kind of pop against them, so that way it holds your baby's attention for at least as long as a diaper change. The next toy in this kit is a doll. I was really excited for this because this is my baby's first doll, and I loved dolls when I was little, so we'll see if she likes them as much as I did, but I was really excited. So it's an organic cotton baby doll. It is, now that I'm holding it in my hands, super soft. The clothes come off, they Velcro, both at the back and at the bottom, like a diaper change. It is a gender neutral doll, so it works no matter what gender your baby is. And one thing I really liked for this play kit is they gave you an option of skin tone. There were 3 different skin tones: a light, a medium, and a dark. I did learn that the kit defaults to the medium skin tone if you don't select one, and you have up until about a week before your kit ships to select your doll. So that way you can choose if you want to get a doll that looks similar to your baby, or if you want one that actively does not look similar to your baby to expand their horizons. There were not hair tone options. Dark hair was the only option, so sorry if you're blonde. But it is nice that you can have a little bit of say in the skin tone that your baby is getting. Next thing in this kit is opposite balls. So from the outside, they look exactly the same, but they are actually different weights. So they're like baby's first science experiment. This is one of the toys I was really, really excited for. So I think actually now that I'm looking in my reflection, you can kind of tell which one is heavier in my hand. It's this one. And as I shake it, you can hear it is filled with what I assume is sand. This one is hollow. There's nothing inside of it. So first and foremost, my baby loves to shake things with rattles, so I'm sure she's going to like this one because it makes a noise. But what they recommend you do with this is you actually bring them into the bath. And so when they're playing with them in the water, this one will stay on the surface, this one will sink to the bottom, and it starts to introduce that concept of heavy and light. All right, next we have the sliding top box. This is the one that I think my baby is going to be the most excited for. This is kind of step 2 of these wooden boxes. We have one from 2 play kits ago, I believe is when it was. That is another box with a hole on top for them to drop balls into, and they kind of roll back so that way they can see that something goes in, comes back out. This one is a little bit different. Once you drop it in the hole, you can see the ball in there. It does not come back out. There is a wall there. So in order to get the ball out, they have to slide to the other side. And this, again, reinforces the concept of that an object, even when you can't see it, is still there. Good old object permanence. So then again, you can do it on the other side, put it in. You do have to push a little bit, which is also nice for their motor skills, and then slide to get it back out. Next, we have the sensory switchboard. So this, first and foremost, is starting to teach everyday life skills, how to turn a light switch on and off, buttons to turn things on and off. which is really exciting and also a little bit terrifying that now my baby is going to know how to do some of these things. It means more baby proofing is probably coming. So this is again a sensory board. Along the top you have 3 switches. This is a twist, this is a regular like light switch up and down, and this is a button that you push. Along the bottom you have these 3 colored dots, and when you activate a switch it brings the color up to the top, so kind of like a turning on and off. So like the green is now forward, the blue is now forward, oop, twist the other way, and the purple is now forward. And then if you press it again, it goes back. So it has that visual something is changing to help enforce the concept that they are creating the action that is causing the reaction. Next, we have the pincer puzzle. So pincer grip, which is this grip, if you're unfamiliar with it, is super important for babies to learn. This helps with picking things up, with having that dexterity with your hands that eventually lead to things further down the road, like a pencil and scissor skills and all the things that you want them to be able to do. So this is our second pincer toy from Lovevery. Last kit, we got a ball that had small strings for them to grab. And this one is a puzzle. So it's a very simple puzzle. It just goes out and in. But the top of it, in order to get it out, you really need that pincer grasp. This is one of the later toys that they recommend, and I am sure it is because of that puzzle concept. I know we have an earlier puzzle that my baby loves, but I'm not sure she has fully put together that the circle comes out and the circle goes back in, and that's the toy. She kind of just likes holding both pieces and banging them together like cymbals. And last but certainly not least, we have the wooden pegs drop box. So it comes with the box itself that is wood, and then the 3 wooden pegs. And what you do is, it is a classic put the shape in the hole activity. So they can put those 3 pegs right in there. All of them are the same shape and size. But then where I think this one is really fun is we have this purple tab right here, and then if you push it in, they all fall down. So it again is enforcing that cause and effect that we are trying to help baby grasp. It also makes a loud sound, I think a nice sound of the wood falling on the wood, so I'm sure my baby will like that, and I'm sure we'll hear the sound echoing throughout the house for the next couple months. And then finally, we actually pay a little bit extra every month. I believe it is $15, I want to say. I'll look that up. But we actually pay a little bit extra every month to get the book subscription along with our play kit. So it comes with 2 books every month. They have been a variety. Most of them are board books, but we last month got this really cool cloth book that was interactive, where it's about the environment around you, and so you can like plant the carrot and then pull it back out. We've gotten a couple wooden books that are a little bit more simple, particularly early on. But you can pay a little bit extra, and they send you some developmentally appropriate books. So this month we have Baby Math and My First Words. So Baby Math has counting. It also has some textures. So like this is rough sand. These strawberries all have different textures on this page. Fluffy blanket and pillow. Ooh, scratchy pillow. So this is a fun interactive book for your baby. I know my baby is in the scratch phase where everything gets the little like scratch, so I'm sure she will love this book. And then we have a little bit more of a classic, My First Words, where there's a little bit of a story, and the first words are highlighted in green. So they're so shiny and reflective, you can see my ring light. So mama is in green, and then you get the rest of the sentence. So that way you know what words to emphasize when you are talking to your baby, which ones to kind of hit a little bit harder. This is the same, but with dada, and so forth. All right. So that is it for our Lovevery Play Kit for these 2 months. We always look forward to these. I get more excited for this than I do any subscription that I have for myself, because it is so cool to watch her interact with these toys. And these toys capture her attention like nothing else. We have toys that people have gifted us that are more like the classic baby toy, like the ring stackers and some stuffed animals. And not that she doesn't like those, but they don't hold her attention the way that these do. And if you are a new parent, you know that something that holds their attention for more than like a minute is simply invaluable. So we have put some of the oldest toys away, but most of these are still out in our house, because even the ones that she's kind of grown out of, she is still entertained by, which is awesome. So these play kits full disclosure, are not the cheapest thing in the entire world. They are $80 a kit for the ones that come every 2 months. And then once you hit a year, they switch up to $120 a kit, but you're getting them less frequently. So if you do the math for a year, it's actually the same price at the end of the day. I do think they are incredibly worth it because they do last. We already know that we are going to be able to save these for any future kids that we have. And because they are so developmentally based instead of being new and trendy, they are still going to be relevant and they are still going to work whenever we have any more kids. They're not something that is going to become dated. All right, so thank you so much for stopping in. Go ahead, comment down below. Let me know if you get the Lovevery Playkit and if you love it as much as we do, or if you have any questions about it, feel free to leave those and I'll answer them as best I can. I know it is a little bit of a big purchase, and so if you have questions before you commit, I am more than happy to answer them. If you have not already, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We got more baby content, more baby items, adventures, tips, tricks heading your way as our baby approaches 1 year old. So thanks so much for stopping in. See you again soon.